So welcome to the channel guys. So today in this tutorial we are going to see how do we parameterize our test cases into JMeter, and then we'll see how this parameterization will help us to do the data driven test for a different set of data, or how can we use this for verification of this validation of this field. So for example, now this is create booking request. So in this request, so you want to create this booking through this API. So we have this bunch of fields. Now this field, we have a hard coded data over here. So when you send a request in the JMeter, so you have a bunch of booking that you want to create, but sadly in this request, it is only the data that is hard coded here. So you want to change it and make it dynamic. So how can we do that? So for this, we need to use a user parameter over here. So how can we do that? As we discussed earlier, so if you want to have some value in a dynamic, so let's say, let me open Notepad plus first. So so here is a variable. Let's say variable value is 123, and so let's say now that let's say you have some variable, okay, let's say the first name, okay, and whose value is, let's say I'm using Tom, okay, and now this value I need to supply in the request. So let's say this I'm not giving any double quotes, and directly I'm going to pass this thing. So now here in this request we need to use a dollar. So in this request body, let's say this, now this first name I've used a variable. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to use this dollar, and in the parenthesis I need to pass this, the curly braces I need to pass this first name. So likewise I'll create like this request body, and here I need to supply this, like this total price also, like this. Okay, let's say you put anything like it's doesn't matter. Now this data type was string, this was boolean, sorry, this was integer, and this is boolean. So let it put like this, and the naming convention I'm going to follow the same as it is, because it will help to remember what what is the variable name here. So I'm going to put this as it is, and here also this variable I'm going to add this pipe cells or separated by underscore. Let's check out. You can add like this because it will help you to understand, because if suppose let's say it is bunch of fields in your request body, then how can you distinguish between them? So if there is some duplicate field in that same request body, then how will you distinguish that? So better to have this uh, booking dates separated by the key, and last name additional name, okay, that I need to put it. So here also again goes to dollar, and here it is. So our sample request body is ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to disable this, okay, and here is the disabled. I'll make this as a let's say I'm going to name it as static data, okay, let's say like this. Now here I need to update this request body. So I'll copy this, but now where I have given this fields, right? I haven't given anywhere this variable. Okay. So like this value, like first name, last name, total price. So here I need to add the user parameter. How can we add that? So right click on the thread group, go to add, and go to preprocessor, and here you can select the user parameter. Now here you just need to drag top, and you can click on this add variable, so it will add the variables here. So we need total 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 variable we need. So I'll add quickly those. First name, let's say last name, then total price, then deposit paid, and then booking dates. I mean this booking dates check-in, booking dates checkout, and here is the additional names. So in the name column, you need to add the variable name here. And last, I don't need, so I can delete the variable. Okay. Now here is the value. What value I need to add? So let's say first name I'll add uh, John, and I'll add Peter, and total price I'll add 100. Deposit paid true. Check-in date is a date format. That what is the date format? It's this one. I'll keep it as it is, not making changes here. And additional needs, here is a breakfast, so I'll add this as a breakfast. Okay, so now here this user one values are added. Okay, so now let's check whether this value is picking up here in the request or not. Okay, so now this we have created a prototype request where the value of this keys will be picked up from the user parameter. Okay, now we'll see the result. So let's run this. Now here we can see that the value, okay, so here it is values coming from this. I'll disable this first, and again we'll run this again. So now this time it has picked up the correct first name, last name, total price, and the other values that we have supplied from the user parameter. Now why this is failed? Because of this the booking ID, sorry, not this first name. I'll disable this for now. Okay, this is not required. Yeah, and again I'll run this. Okay, okay, this booking ID. Okay, this instead of booking ID we need booking ID. Yeah, last time we did that assertion part, so that's why it's failing. Let me update it to this booking ID, and now let's run this again. So yeah, this time this is passed, and now you can see that. Yes, see the result. So now let's say you want to run this, do want to run this for a data driven test. So how can we achieve this thing? So here is a user parameter. So let's say I want to add two more user. So let's say how can we add? So here is the user one. So if you click on this user one, you can add the second set of data. So let's say I'm going to add one more. Let's see, this is I'm going to add this is gold Sandra, and here I'll add 200. I'll give false. I'll give the date as breakfast. I'll put lunch here. Okay, now I want to run this. Now before I start running this, now this are two users, so this should execute twice, right? So but here in the thread group we added only two threads, meaning user one. So when you run this, it will run for only first set of data, that is for a user one. Okay, let's see what happens. So now you can see here it has executed for one only, right? But we want to run for both the users data. So how can we do that? So we need to update this number of threads, that is 2. And also if you want to add a ramp up time period between two requests, so you can add that. But for now we are not going to add this. Okay, let's clear these results and let's run and see the result. Okay, so now here we can see that this is executed successfully and this is the second request. We added that. Okay, but how can we distinguish that? So which one is ran first? So we can just add something like in the HTTP request, we can add a counter. Okay, so how can we add that? Or simply we can go to function helper, we can go here, here, we can add the counter here. So it will generate counter. So it will start from Z1 till the end, whatever that. Okay, so now let's run this and we'll see. So now this counter has run successfully, and here you see this has given 3 4 likewise. Okay, so we can clean this results and we can see that. Okay, so that's it from this particular video, guys. In the next video we are going to see how can we add the um, different values for different set of data. Okay, so we want to verify, for example, invalid user parameter value, then how can we do that? We can see that in the later video. So thank you so much for watching this entire video, guys. Have a great day.